What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of, the abbreviation is LLI Leadership Lean In. We are leaning into the subject matter of leadership in our attempt. Our goal is trying to get a little bit better. Thank you so much for everybody that likes, subscribes, comments, and is a part of our community. Let us know, where are you leaning in from? We have people that let us know all over really the country, all over the world. And I just love anybody that is a leaner. By the way, today, we're recording this on a Sunday. Today, in the courtyard, some people walked up and said, hey, we're leaners from Ireland. Got to take a photo with some folks from Ireland today. And just means the world to our team and to myself that, first of all, that you've accepted the responsibility to be a leader and that you're trying to grow in your leadership. That's our goal. Our tag phrase is, as promised, progress, because we know we can't promise perfection, but by golly, gosh darn it, we are going to promise progress. Not everybody can deliver that, by the way. Cowboys, Clippers, you guys get it. But for us, we are going to improve. So today I am ecstatic. Again, we're recording today on a Sunday. I am joined by, what do the kids say? He's a brother from another mother. I mean, you guys get it. With me today, my brother from Johnson City, Tennessee, the great Uncle Pastor Robbie Hilton.
Uncle.
And the crowds go crazy. I think they liked that today when I said.
They loved it.
They're like, all right.
I think they were feeling that.
Uncle fits with the Southern swag. It's the accent that people go, hey, Unc.
Yeah.
If Shannon Sharp can get Unc, you can get Unc.
Ol.
Ol.
Add the ol.
And for you, your grandpa. Grandpa Robbie.
2 times a grandpa.
2 times.
I'm loving this life.
There are 2-time Grammy winners, there are 2-time Oscar winners, and there's 2-time grandparents.
And I think this is the best 2-time.
That's the best 2-time, actually.
Yeah.
And you went all in the T's. You guys are in the T's.
Yeah, Tiger and Teddy.
And next, Taylor Swift. Anyways, kidding. Come on, man. That's not cool.
If it's a girl,
Taylor's
maybe.
a great
We never
unisex
know.
name. No, it goes both ways.
You could do either, yeah.
I've got friends that are named Taylor on both sides.
Okay.
There's 2 genders. Anyways, I like saying that. Tell me, what's it like to be such a great communicator, such as yourself? Like when you get done,
jumping right in.
when you get done doing what you did today, do you just walk away and go, yeah, kids, that's how it's done. That's how it's done.
That very rarely happens.
That, friends, is how it's done.
I felt good about today. I got to be honest.
Do you listen to Jim Nance? Do the Masters or March Madness and go, it's all right, it's good? I have a few pointers.
Yeah, I feel like Jim Nance is uncorrectable.
Oh, gosh.
So I
100%.
don't mess with that guy.
It's a few guys. Rare air. But you're in that top tier.
I'm in that. I'm stop.
I was thinking about today as we were getting ready to record. I met you in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
In 2000 and years ago. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that was the first time I ever hung out with Jason Kennedy.
Oh, wow.
On that trip. I think maybe Micah Cravallo was there with us. All due to, and shout out to our brother, Jabin Chavez.
He brought us together. Yeah.
Vegas.
Jabin has been responsible for some of my greatest relationships in life.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What a good friend.
The best
I
friend.
always appreciate a friend that doesn't hold their relationships like this. These are mine.
No, he's such a giver.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
I remember when I met you, he told me after we had hung out a little bit, he goes, you guys are going to be friends.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Because at that age, a lot of people are just trying to get in.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah, he was just like, you guys are going to be great friends.
But I've always appreciated that about you. You have this ability to play the long game where you don't ever reach for things. You don't ever try and manipulate or force. You just go like, in the end, long run, I think that if I stay secure, stay confident, be myself, I think it's all going to work out. And by golly, gosh darn it, it clearly has.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that quality? Like, who would have modeled that or taught that to you to not be the as the song goes, act like you're ever going to be around guys like this again?
I saw a lot of flaking out early when I was a teenager from guys I loved so much. And I just thought, man, if I can do what they do, but have that last forever. I mean, it was like we were watching a show last night of a band that's been around forever. And they probably, in the 90s and 2000s, never had that many people show up. It's the longevity that's created
that's a great point.
what they're living in now. And so I saw that even last night. I was like, that's what I want in life. I want the ladder to be greater.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem, though, of the young man's game. The young man's game is an immediate game.
It is.
It's like a selfish ambition that hasn't been tamed yet.
Yeah.
And I think, looking back, I just hadn't got my teeth kicked in enough.
Yeah.
You go through enough bumps and bruises, you're like, I've learned I'm not going to force anything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to manipulate anything, because the problem is with being young and talented is that you can almost manipulate anything.
You can.
And so you force things, but you're like, I made it all happen, so now I'm forced to continue this.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of energy.
That becomes and then you hide because you can't. And
You
you're
can't.
not the person that everybody thinks you
There
are.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
My dad, when I was super young, started really early. He was so into character.
Wow.
Like, he was never impressed by people who had big churches,
Yeah.
big followings, whatever. He was always impressed with people with character. And I wanted to be a person that impressed my dad.
Wow. So you wanted
So
character.
so I wanted
Wow.
character. So things have been interesting. I was talking to a person recently, and my life has kind of gone into a different place in space in the last 5 years. And I think that was such a good thing for me, that I wasn't exposed to a lot of opportunities early. It's kind of starting to happen on the back end for me. So I feel like I'm in a place where I can handle it.
Right. And what's crazy is I feel like you're very intuitive. You're a very discerning person. I can remember you calling it a few years ago, going, I think the road's going to pick up for me again. Mm-hmm. And you had left it,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
You had kind of maybe focused on the family, focused on the transition of taking over your father's church.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Robbie took over his church in, I don't know,
2013.
2013. I don't know how to put this into math. And shout out to his incredible father, Pastor Richard, who we love. Mm-hmm. You've taken it just to a stratosphere that no one, maybe even yourself, saw coming.
No idea.
That just is a real grace on your life. So, but you did that. Have you always kind of been a step ahead? How did you develop that gift as a leader, where you're able to have such foresight or intuition to go, I can see this is what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to teach, what I'm supposed to be spending my time. Mm-hmm. Have you always been that way?
I think so in some ways. I just always had a focus on family, like from the beginning. Even when the transition happened, I told the leaders, I was like, I'm going to live a certain way. I'm going to be at my kids' ball games. I'm going to be there when my wife needs me.
Yep.
These things are my priority. If I miss a meeting because I'm over here watching my kid play basketball or soccer or whatever, I need you to understand that.
Yeah.
Because I need that. Like, I need that to survive.
Yeah.
That's for me, that's my mental health thing. That's the thing that I have to lean back into and lean on. I'm such a family person. So I wanted more than anything to just be a good husband and a good dad.
Wow.
And then everything I've done, I think, kind of flows from that. Yeah. So I said no to a lot of stuff in my 20s that would have been really cool opportunities, but I just didn't think the timing was right.
Yeah. But good for you to be able to go, I value this, which is the right thing, more than the thing that is cheap and not going to be there at the end of the day. I think that's the hard thing, the difficult discipline for people is to say, I know this is right and what I should be focused on, but career path, whether that be money or fame or something in your soul that you need so bad, a lot of people can't say no to that. Where did you whenever I'm around you, I always sense that you're very secure in who you are. You can make fun of yourself, self-deprecating jokes, but they never feel like they're crossing the line. Have you always been confident? How old were you when you kind of came into your own going, I feel really, I love who I am. I love the way God made me.
Yeah. I've always loved who I am. I've not always loved what I do. You know what I mean? So I've wrestled with ministry at times because I didn't I wasn't for sure that was what I was supposed to get into. I'm like at the point in my life now where I feel like, okay, I'm doing the thing I'm called to do. It's a wild thing.
Wow.
But I feel like I've always been comfortable in my own skin. And I had a lot of great friends early on, and we never treated each other like anybody was too good or anybody was above anybody. And so there was just a lot of picking. And I know this sounds so odd, but I just felt like the people who I loved the most made fun of me, picked at me. We were able to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So I never had any sort of like doubts about myself, because I was like, these guys love me. They tell me the truth. So I was really aware of some of my deficiencies early on, you know, and I think that helped. I don't know, you know. I've always been this way, but
that's very helpful. You know, I think you grow up around people that in a good way are committed to you, but they don't cut you down. Like,
yeah.
I always think that even about disciplining your children, it's like, I want to discipline you, I just don't want to break your spirit.
Exactly.
So I want to train you, but I don't want to hurt your heart.
Yeah. There's a difference between disciplining your children and them living under the threat of your punishment.
That's right.
You know? And so for me, it was like having honest friends who would sit with you and tell you the truth about you really early in life helped me a lot. And so I was able to work on some stuff, and then I got married young, and I was
that's its own discipleship.
Grew me up
My God.
quickly.
I always think for a lot of young guys, like, man, if you could have gotten married, you could have been 10 times better.
Maddie, the other day, and by the way, we're recording this right now. It's on a Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
Last Sunday, I got a text from Bethany Wymore.
Love that woman.
Over on the team at Overflow.
Okay.
And she had screenshotted one of our previous leadership lean-ins, and she said, we officially have stickers in stock. So I remember we were talking about, we need more Overflow merch.
Yes.
She has stickers. And look, Overflow doesn't just have stickers. They have everything you need to get your organization locked in, to not just equip people to give and to fundraise, but to do it in creative ways, innovative ways.
Love that.
We're talking stocks, crypto, trusts.
Keep going.
Cash.
Keep going.
And other ways.
Okay, that was a letdown. Many other ways.
See, that's what their team will help you with. Yeah,
they're the experts.
What is it? Overflow.co/LLI to book a demo with the team. And truly, Overflow has completely innovated the game in giving and fundraising. They're not just a church-based organization. So if you're a nonprofit, I think they just did a big project with Golden State Warriors. I just went on their website and it shows all the organizations they've worked with, and I was just blown away. They are so professional. They're on the cutting edge of the technology. I mean, Overflow really has everything you need to empower your organization to receive gifts and fundraisers.
Love that.
So overflow.co/LLI to book a free demo today. Also, shout out to Vance on the team, just the best guy on the team. He like runs the thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to the whole team. Okay, also, we have a brand new sponsor.
We do have a brand new sponsor, and I have to just let you know that I'm super excited about this. I'm like on this kick right now. Anything that's like helps with like brain support.
Yes.
I'm into it. You've come into my office before. There's like brain gummies on my desk.
Yes. I'm like, what are these? I'm like, we work at a church. Are we allowed to be eating these?
No, they're good.
Okay, I first saw Mosh bars on Shark Tank, and I'm obsessed with Shark Tank.
Yeah,
I feel like
same.
Shark Tank is like a leadership lean-in episode. You know, just I've seen every single episode.
Yeah.
I haven't just seen Shark Tank. I've seen there's Lion's Den and there's Dragon's Den, and they're like the different countries.
Oh wow, I've never even heard of that.
I'm that nerdy.
I'm a fake fan.
I'm that nerdy, but I won't give any spoilers. You should just go watch the episode. But I was so shocked. Patrick, Maria Shriver is on there. They're talking about mosh bars, and I was blown away because I have a connection. Maria Shriver, her dad had Alzheimer's. My dad had early onset dementia.
Wow.
And so since I was a teenager, I've, just like you, been so intentional, kind of obsessed with brain health and brain support. And mosh bars offer incredible brain support.
Yeah.
They have this new ingredient. This is like a first on the market
give it to me,
type
give
of
it
thing,
to me,
right?
give it to me.
It's called Cognizin. I'm not going to break it down, all the details to it, but
Dang, I
it
was hoping you
supports-
would.
Yeah, it's for brain support. It's an incredible ingredient. I was like, should I just bring a bar and read it off the top? But
We should have.
Yeah, we
Next
should have.
time.
Yes.
I will say I had the chocolate chip cookie flavor the other day. It was a little bit melted.
ooh,
I was like, I'm eating cookie
is this
dough.
a hack?
I'm eating cookie dough.
Oh my gosh.
But it was like a mosh bar. It wasn't a cookie dough. It was so delicious.
I think it's my new favorite bar. I don't know if it counts as a protein bar. Maybe it does. But the one I had around 12 grams of protein. I know it differs from bar to bar, but it's absolutely... Yeah, it does taste like it's like cookie dough. It's like this is
so
a
bomb.
cheat code. Okay, they want to give us a deal, a leadership lean-in deal, and we want to make sure we don't mess it up. So we're just going to read it word for word for you.
I'm going to read it to you word for word because, as Nate said, it's a Sunday. We need a mosh bar right now. Our brains are completely rotted. But
Yes.
they are giving you guys the best deal ever. So if you want to find ways to give back to others and to fuel your body and your brain, mosh bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/LLI to save 20% off plus free shipping on either the Best Sellers Trial Pack or the new Plant-Based Trial Pack. That's insane. That's such a
Yeah.
good deal. That's 20% off plus free shipping on either the Best Sellers or Plant-Based Trial Pack at moshlife, moshlife.com/LLI. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode.
All right, let's get back to our episode with Pastor Chad and Robbie Hilton.
Now, the more important question is, how old were you when you were good at golf? Like, this happens at what age?
I did not start playing golf until I was 19.
That's not okay.
Listen to me. I promise. A guy in my church
Stop.
came to me, goes, "You want to play golf?" I said, "Sure, sounds fun." Gives me my first set of clubs, Dunlops.
Oh, shout out to Dunlop, of
Yeah,
course.
Yeah, I think John Daly was like their
Of course.
main guy.
Strong brand and also great tennis brand.
Really good tennis player.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a good tennis player at all. But first time I played golf, I shot a 97. I beat this guy. I've never
beat him.
shot over 100 in my life.
This guy.
It's just a gift.
It's a spiritual gift.
It's a spiritual gift that God
You are
has blessed
so
me with.
good at golf. It's stupid.
I'm not really that.
You are
good.
so good at you hit a golf ball. I go, gosh, that goes a mile. And it doesn't feel like you're trying.
I'm really trying.
No,
I
stop.
am.
I'm talking about your
Listen to me.
swing. I'm like, dude, yeah, maybe for your score, but your swing is crazy.
You know, what's funny is I've slowed down a lot recently.
Your tempo,
Yeah,
you're saying?
you haven't played with me. I've changed my swing up a little bit. It's slower.
You're counting, or what are you doing?
higher.
You're
No,
saying
it's
something?
just- no.
You told me this. You're getting 30 more yards in your drive.
Yes.
Because you
I'm
got
hitting
higher.
it farther today than I ever have
Mother
in my life.
Teresa.
I'm getting the hands really high, dropping it in that
What clubs are you
good
playing right now? Because I
position.
know you trade clubs like you trade your cars. It's insane. We'll be like in the parking lot of your club, and it's all of a sudden some random guy named Joe appears out of nowhere with a whole set taped together. He's like, "Oh, Robbie, here's the clubs you bought off me on eBay." It's like, oh my gosh, are these drugs or golf clubs?
I do get rid of clubs a lot. Right now I'm playing ping.
You're like a
driver,
day
woods.
trader of clubs.
I am not.
Most people trade.
I'm committed to growing.
stock. You trade
It's
clubs.
like reading books for me.
This is leadership for you. So what are you playing right now? What kind of clubs?
Ping driver and woods and Titleist
Irons. And what about wedges?
and wedges, Titleist wedges.
And what putter?
Scotty Cameron, a bladed Scotty Cameron.
A bladed.
Yeah,
Have you seen my Betanari?
I have.
Oh gosh.
I'm not jealous. I'm waiting on one of those in like my like when I travel and come here. Like
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be in the
little
hotel
gift
room.
bag.
Yeah. Wow. Usually I get Air Force Ones, but this time I got a Betanari. Who's the best golfer you've ever played with?
Best golfer I've ever played with. My goodness. Guy at my golf course. He's about 70.
70.
Yeah, hits the ball about 250 off the tee still,
Jeez.
and he'll shoot 65 like that. Short game is
It's all 100 in, isn't it?
beautiful. Yeah, I mean, if he gets around the greens, he's getting up and in, he's chipping it in all the time. He's just spectacular.
Just hands.
It's beautiful to watch. Hands.
When Judas constant text to me is Judas Smith, guys.
Never met him. What's he like?
Name drop.
I love you, Judah. I just beat Judah, by the way. Were we going to get into that?
That's where we're going.
Okay.
But his constant text is always, how are you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? This is his text. What can I do for you?
Yeah.
My reply is the same every time. I need chipping lessons. I genuinely don't feel that bad. I feel like I'm okay putting. I kind of feel more confident ever ball striking as far as irons go. I don't even feel that intimidated with a driver in my hand right now. It is all chipping. Like if I get stuck at 61, like if I'm in the 47, it's a tough zone. Like I don't know what I'm doing here really. Like I'm bumping and running from 47. That's not okay.
If you're putting from 30 feet off the green. Your favorite golf course is like those resort courses where the green and the
just forever.
fairway just merge.
Just merge together. It's like, what is it? What are you, in Ireland? So tough. Let me ask you a question. Were you better at basketball or golf?
Probably golf.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's saying something.
I was an okay basketball player, but I think the benefit I have is I haven't played a lot of basketball in the past 20 years.
Right, there you go.
So you still have these legendary stories that people tell, and they just become greater and greater.
100%.
So I think the legend of me is greater than
who you are.
Of me.
But the fact that there is even an option where you're a legend in the game of basketball is saying something. What's the nicest golf course you've ever played?
Nicest golf course I've ever played.
Don't say Angeles National. We'll be so upset at you.
Riv with you.
Oh, the Riv. That was a great day.
Yeah. Such a great day. Beat Pastor Chris Hodges that day. I'm just throwing out names.
Just let the people know. I didn't know where we were going to go. We ran
Judah's down. Chris Hodges is down. I think people tell me I got to go for Harrison Conley next.
Gosh, he's a monster. And by the way, can we just tell real fast my favorite part of our Riv experience that day?
Yes.
My favorite part is we're coming up 17 green.
Yes.
And you look across to the other fairway, which probably is, 12. I don't know which hole it is I don't know it well enough. But you go, isn't that Judah over there?
Yeah.
And I look across, I was like, what? What are the chances? So I see him, I yell across, which it's such bad country club etiquette. Judah! And he's like, what? So he's loud, I'm loud. Yeah. So now we're running like haven't seen, like this is like a Titanic embrace here.
Yes.
And he's playing with this golfer. Get ready for another name drop.
Get ready.
Bubba Watson. And we go up there and we're all talking so loud. I think Pastor Chris and Bubba Watson looked at us like, these guys are idiots. So why are you guys so dumb? How'd you get in here? Why are you guys playing without a member? And just the whole
that was the weirdest part.
We were the beneficiaries of Pastor. Without the name drop, there is Pastor Chris. Pastor Chris Hodges would like to play the Riv. That's how you and I
that's how we
got there that day. The nicest golf course to me is not the Riv, although the Riviera Country Club, get out of here. I still think that you need to play MPCC, Monterey Peninsula Country Club, Insanity, and you need to play Bel Air Country Club. I think those are the two that you would dominate and absolutely adore. But I love that you love golf, and I think that we've gotten to golf all over. We've played golf in Missouri together.
Yep.
We've played golf clearly in Tennessee a ton, around Los Angeles.
But you love my golf course.
Oh my gosh, do I? And you got a new barn at your course.
Yeah, new barn.
Wow. Yeah, you know what? Well, I think I love it so much because it's like we have nothing like that in LA.
Right.
Like it's so anti-LA.
Rolling hills
and just like also availability to go play and get in a cart and just, it's like a dream life. I love your family. I mean, how many times do you think I've been to Johnson City, Tennessee? How many times?
Oh my gosh. 20 plus?
At least.
Yeah.
So this
is
is
twice a year for a minute.
For a year. Yeah. I mean, for years.
Yeah.
And you got to think this is over the span of 14 years.
Least,
13, 14 years.
Because we met right when Ollie and Georgia were born.
Think about that. So 12 years, 13 years. Yeah. And it's like, I just love going there. I love the whole experience. People are like, why is your favorite place Johnson City, Tennessee? It proves it's not about where you are, it's about who you're with.
Yeah.
I love your church. I love your family. I love your children. I love what you've established. I want to talk just for a minute about because I think this is very important as leaders that you have friendships. And you're someone that I see you model friendship so well. You show up for your friends, you're loyal to your friends, you're generous to your friends, you protect your friends. When you think about the word leader and friendship, what are some thoughts that come to mind, and why is this so important that we apply ourselves to our friendships?
First of all, people are a gift.
Wow.
And when God wants to bless you, right, he gives you a person, you know? And so for me, anytime he's given me the opportunity to be a steward of a person, it feels like the greatest honor. And I think for so long, I think a way that I honor God is by honoring who I think God is honoring. And so
There you go.
I think when God puts somebody like you in my life, and this past week I got to spend some time with some really good friends, I just want to help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My favorite Bob Goff saying, another name. I don't know Bob Goff. But
It's like, man, all these guys did was just drop names.
But my favorite Bob Goff saying is, I used to want to fix everybody, but now I just want to be with them. And I think that translates for me in relationships.
Is
like,
that
I just
good?
want to be with people and help them and love them and push whatever they're trying to do.
Wow.
And that's really, and I think God sees that and he honors me. And so everything I set my heart to do, God takes care of it.
Wow.
As I try to take care of the people that he loves and he's put his grace on. And so no, it's been fun. Friendships are easy for me. I just love that God has trusted me with people, and so I think
And
it's
why
the
do you
best thing
think?
ever.
Because you're not just friends to people around the country or people that people would know, but you're like sometimes you're like, yeah, I just got lunch with one of my high school teammates.
Yeah. My best friend to this day is my point guard in high school.
So like what do people miss when it comes to friendship? Why do people get it wrong, you think?
People get it wrong because they expect no struggle in relationships. They expect everything to go well. They expect never to be confronted. They expect that person to always hold up their end of the bargain.
Wow.
And always be the right kind of friend. And I think that you're going to go through times in relationships where they're just not going to be the right type of friend. Like even in marriage, there are times when your wife is strong and you're not. You're strong, she's not. And you have to work through those spaces with people where it's like, this is real friendship. And so you dig in and you just say, it's like we were talking about this morning, I'm not leaving this relationship just because we had a this or a that.
Yeah.
Because I love you. And at one point in our life, we really connected over the fact that we cared for each other. And if I really love you, then I'm going to stick out and stick with you through a lot of stuff. I don't think that's any invitation to be, taken advantage of or abused.
Right,
and all of that
abused.
stuff.
Yeah.
You got to have discernment. But I think people are worth fighting for. So
Wow,
I got a lot of long-term relationships.
But I do think that it's very difficult for relationships in general because of the pain points that it hits.
Yes.
And the disappointment. People are so afraid of abandonment, rejection, abuse, so on and so forth. And so the moment we start to get threatened, people are like, I'm out. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it is important that you develop an emotional intelligence.
Yes.
I think this is why Inside Out 2 is so big, that people are going, wait, why am I letting anger?
Yeah.
Why am I letting sadness drive my life?
Yeah.
I got to get joy back in here.
Yeah.
Driving my life. Otherwise, I'm gonna destroy the greatest blessing in my life, which is not houses and cars.
Right.
It's people. It's the
Right.
relationships.
It is.
And I love that saying. Life moves at the speed of our relationships. Every time my life has felt slowed down, it's because of the relationships that I'm struggling in. Every time I feel like my life has been flying, it's because my relationships are doing so good. And that's such a crazy thought to think, if I'll just pay attention and apply myself in the areas that really move the needle or speed up life, make life easy, I'll spend more time making sure that we're good here.
Yeah.
It's so huge.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a deficiency of mine or what, but I don't do well with knowing that there's something between me and somebody. So I'm really quick to pick up the phone
Yeah.
and call. You know what I mean? Like I don't
we good?
don't like to linger in that silence.
Yeah.
And I can be almost too aggressive probably sometimes of just like,
Hey, let's talk.
let's talk. What's going on?
Yeah.
We good. And so I think that's helped me a lot relationally. And one of the things that I think is really important is that we don't carry, because there are a lot of broken relationships out there. A lot of, and
Sure.
I can't sit here and say I'm still friends with everybody I've ever been friends with.
Of course.
Because that's just not reality. But I try my best not to carry the baggage and the hurt and the pain from those relationships into another one. Because if I do, the moment, like you were saying, it feels like it's going a little sideways, I'll start to impress upon that relationship the previous one. And I'll miss this incredible blessing that God has in front of me in this new person. It's not the old thing, it's a brand new.
And I think that's why you have to heal up whatever cocktail of decisions you got to make is because you're going to start holding people hostage to other people's mistakes, not theirs.
Yeah.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair to your world.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about parenting. You have raised such tremendous children. It's ridiculous. I adore all of them. Shout out to your wife, Monica, who we just think the world of. What are some thoughts that come to mind when you think about leaders and parenting? And what are some real keys that really helped you succeed? Like, how did you reproduce yourself, who is kind and godly and loving and generous and faithful and all the things, the great qualities you have? How did you reproduce that in your children? Was that intentional? Were you very deliberate, or were you like, wow, just they were around us in nurturing environment and they just, through osmosis, just kind of changed in the environment that we created? Yeah. Talk to me about, because I feel like so many leaders that we've seen are so great. They are so great. And for some reason, there's a gap between their kids, how the kids turned out, and the leaders. So I'm always trying to learn as a parent. I have 12, 10, 8, 6. So you're further down the road. You're starting to have grandchildren. You got kids that are married and grown up now, and still two that are kind of younger, but kind of through some of the toughest parts as a parent. What were some keys that got you to where you are?
Man, it's been wild. You wish they gave you a manual, like your kid came with a manual.
Right.
Like this is their operating system. This is how they learn. This is how they respond to certain things. Because it's weird. I'd like to say we did this and it just worked across the board. What I think we realized really quickly was that, because we had our kids within a couple years of each other, is that they're so stinking unique.
Man.
And you cannot parent each one the same way.
Man.
So we tried our best to like find the best way to communicate. When you're teaching someone, not everybody learns by, an audible lesson. Some people are visual and all of that stuff. We tried to pinpoint really quickly. We struggled a little bit with Chloe because she was so new to us. We had never, but we kind of learned really quickly. She, like, if I raised my voice with her, she would melt.
You can't handle it.
So I couldn't do it. I needed to, though, with Judah, my son.
Yeah, match him.
Because if I talked softly to him, it wasn't taken seriously. So I had to elevate my voice and kind of use my dad, figure. Not my dad bod.
I was going to say, we're throwing around the dad bod. Okay. Yeah. You guys can imagine it.
Yeah, you remember back in the day. So we learned quickly to try to parent them all according to how they responded to stuff. But I think the biggest thing that we've done that has worked for us is we've tried to, I think environments are everything. So we've tried to create an environment where our kids can make mistakes, feel like they can always come and talk to us about where they're at.
Great.
And the lines of communication being open always with our kids, I think is what really has helped us. Because my kids are not perfect, and they have had some days, and we have had some days, and I've had some moments where I've had to literally just apologize for hours. Just I'm terrible as a father. I shouldn't have said that. I raised my voice. Responded incorrectly. But I think just constantly working on cultivating a relationship with them where they feel like they can always come home.
There you go.
No matter what.
There you go.
And I think that's been the biggest key for us. So it's cool. They were asking me today, like, what are your kids doing? I'm like, they all work with us. And I think the greatest joy of my life is that my kids want to still be around me.
That's
That's
amazing.
my favorite thing in this world.
And that is the test, and but I do think there's a respect that you have to show your children.
Yes.
Those apologies that go so far.
Yes.
I'm learning, that my kids now that they're older, man, they remember everything,
They do.
and they kind of know who you are. They know in a good way and a bad way.
Yeah.
They know your weaknesses. So they're testing everything. But I'm so inspired by the way that you've conducted yourself, because I see your kids. I go to your house. We sit there. We watch, sports and eat, food and talk. And they're so well mannered. They're so well spoken. They love Jesus. They're in the house of God. I go, man. How do I figure that out? And that's kind of my running joke with Julia is like all these guys that we really looked up to. What I admire about anybody, no matter what level of success people have, is if they have kids, that you want your kids to be like them, and the kids want to be around the parents.
Yeah.
They won.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, that's it's not money.
No.
It's not anything. There's
not
no other metric for me if somebody won.
No.
Did you raise great kids? And do they want to be around you? Those two things to me are like, you did it. You did what is the impossible?
trying.
What is we're trying our best.
Yeah.
If I'm really going to put my effort towards anything, it's my marriage, it's my relationship with Jesus, my marriage, and my kids. That's those are the three things.
Yeah. I don't know how I guess I do. I've seen it so much, but I don't know how that duality happens where you are so successful at one thing, but your family isn't working.
I think that,
like, for me, that's the hard part of understanding. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I don't know if I could get up in the pulpit on Sundays, and not that everything has to be perfect and my kids aren't making mistakes, or I don't have a kid in jail or something like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, like, if there feels like this, like, duality of, like, my church is exploding, my business is going crazy,
right,
my family is suffering.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd be able to function.
Well, I think, to me, where I see it go wrong, this is my observation. I've got young kids, so I'm not the expert in any means.
Bro.
It's that obsessive quality that when it only gets obsessed with buildings and projects and bottom line and profit and loss margins and all those kind of things. The focus, which is not out of a bad heart, by the way.
No.
So these are good-hearted people.
Yes.
I really believe that. It's that when the focus doesn't stay also simultaneously on the house and on the kids.
Yeah.
And like you said, you started off going, hey, this is the kind of leader I'm going to be. I'm going to be at my kids' game. So the values were set. If that's not set in place, I think that out of a good heart to win and desire to be successful, people just mistakenly make that the object of their affection, and that's where things can go funny. So I'm just trying to watch and learn. You've been such a. If I think about you, the preacher, the golfer, the friend, and the parent, those are four things that I look at. By the way, and the travel expert. You travel so good. Homie, you know how to travel.
If this doesn't work out for me, I could be a travel agent.
Like, if you're ever like, I really like this
set you
hotel.
up.
I really like this hotel. I'm like I write it down as fast as I can. You could be a travel agent.
Totally.
But yeah, I've always admired that about you. Like, and again, here we are recording this in LA, my favorite city in the whole world.
I love this city.
I love this city with all my heart. To live and die in LA genuinely is my desire, is my goal. But I will say sometimes I think about where I grew up, Whidbey Island. I grew up in a small island. You live in a smaller area.
Yeah.
I love the pace of life of small town living, driving down in my trucks. We knew everybody. We wave everybody. There's something about, I'm trying to create that in my family here.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm really trying to be at home and be around my family, and we get pulled in every which way as you do. But what I'm always trying to say yes to is my kids and my family, and being unapologetic about that, because the time's gonna go by so fast too. Look how fast. When I met your kids, there were how many photos do I have with your kids when they're little?
Yeah. And
they just kept, what I mean? And it just happens overnight.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna be young forever.
No.
you know? So to me, I want to say thank you for being the leader that you've been, and the friend and the pastor, the person. When I think about you, I think about the person that you are. Think about a title or any other thing. I think about who you are as a man, as a leader. You've been such an inspiration, such a friend to me. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for always just being who you've been. And you're a leader of leaders to me. I think God has rewarded and honored the decisions that you've made. And I think that's only going to continue to soar in your life. So thank you for being here today, bro.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I got to give a shout out to my wife and my daughter, Aaliyah.
Let's go.
They're true leaners.
Oh, let's go.
Like fans.
These are my people. Well, they're my people.
Fans.
Homie, they're my people.
They're so in. And I'm too, of course. But
no, he's not.
I have so much. Listen to me.
Hey, I am too, of course.
Listen to
homie.
me.
Aaliyah, Monica, you real. Out in these streets, you a real one. We real recognize real, and real recognize a fake. They not like us. They not like us. They not like
so
us. They not like us. That's the real truth right there. But Aaliyah, age ain't nothing but a number. Aaliyah, that's the artist.
My girl. Yeah.
Monica, not the artist. I love them so much. And
we
Judah,
love you. Your family.
Judah, jump in on a pod every once in a while.
No, what's up, man?
Stop making videos and just come hang out with us at Leadership Leaning.
He's too busy watching some podcast on nuclear fusion or something. This guy is
smart people, man.
Same to you. My life has changed because of you. Like, there are a few people that come into your world and literally change the direction and course of your life, and you've done that for me as a friend. I love your family.
Yeah.
I love your kids, and I'm absolutely humbled and honored to be here. And anytime I get to spend with you is the best times. So
You're the best. You're the best. Well, we got to go, team.
Go.
We got a 6 p.m. service. This guy's about to preach. We love you. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you're on YouTube. Spotify people, all my audio people, share this episode. I learned about leadership and parenting and communication and golf, most importantly, on this pod. We love you. We'll see you next time.